This is the Coway Airmega150. And same as the 160, except the 160 has a much fancier grill. So any differences is only up 2 looks. And I checked because I was going to get the 160 because it seems like it's newer. But it's exactly identical in terms of air purification and seal and everything else. Here's the pre-filter right here. It's a really fine mesh. Very fine mesh. That's your pre-filter to get rid of all the dirt and debris before everything else. It's good to have a good pre-filter because your filter, the main filter, the HEPA filter, will get very, very, very dirty. And it'll need to be cleaned a lot faster. And it might not last as long if it's very dirty. So here we can see the fan inside, and we have the buttons on top. Let's see if we can see this. And that's where our buttons are. And on the bottom, what do we have? We don't have any rubber feet, we just have a plastic bottom. Now for that part I took off. That's where our HEPA air filter is hidden. And that's where our charcoal's hidden. So here we got our charcoal filter. We can see a bit through that. Not sure if we can see through it on the camera or not, but I can see a little bit of light through it. And here's our HEPA. The green is the one side. You might wonder why did I choose this one, because as far as I know, it's very silent. And I wanted something silent, compact, that fits in a certain spot. What exact spot am I talking about? Well, I'll show you right now. Can we see the space right here? The space where that air purifier is. Technically, the sizing shows that it should fit there perfectly in that spot. And if it does, that is why I got it, because it fits. And of course, if you're wondering about this air purifier, I review this one, and I review another one, and soon I'll probably have several reviews of different air purifiers, and I own several different air purifiers. So in the package, we also have the instruction manual. Affordable air filters. That is very important for what I'm looking for, because I don't want to pay a fortune, and I don't know if you want to, but honestly, I'd rather True Hepa with affordable filters. And I want something good. The charcoal is not going to win any rewards. This is just a charcoal sheet. You can always buy other sheets. Oh, we can now see how clear this is. I can see through the filter and see the light through this filter. So to install our filters, we see the tabs, and that's what's going on the outside of those tabs, because our pre-filter is going to go where these vents are. The pre-filter has to get everything first. Then I see the Velcro on this side, which means that that's going against our pre-filter. And we can also see it says front right there on the front, and the tab is sticking out. So the pre-filter go away out, and on the top, there we go. And now I'm going to put those 2 tabs that we see right there into the tab holes. So once we got it in the tab holes, all I do is, well, done just like that, really simple. Now I'm going to plug it in and see how this works with everything now installed. Now let's turn on our power. Rear of the package is set to auto. And this is moving quite a bit of air, speeding up, speeding up. So we definitely do hear some noise. So we got auto, we got setting 1. Wow, that's quite quiet, especially since I'm close to the mic, and that's quite a bit of air. It's quite a bit of air for a really low setting. Then we're number 2, that's medium. That's quite a bit of air too, especially. I'll test that out with a bag to see how this is for airflow, so I can show you. And this is our high setting. Hopefully you can see that light. And that's really blowing a lot of air now. And it's getting louder and louder and louder. Any unit in highs gets loud on high, of course. Wow, that's a lot of air. If I press the light bulb here, we'll turn off the light. That's our environmental light there. It tells us different colors to tell us how it is. And that should be our HEPA and odor changing light indicator. Power. What do you do? Let's see, I'm going to hold this button. Okay, I press it to go on. Okay, but to turn it off, check this out. You don't just press it. You're going to hold it. 1, 2, 3, basically. The instruction manual. That's gone. The product registration. Trying to sleep, low, super quiet. this is probably one of the most silent I've ever heard with decent airflow. Rabbit Air is also super quiet. I've owned 2 Rabbit Air purifiers. The minus A2, I believe it, or I have minus 2 A2 plus, I'm not sure what it's called. BioGS 2.0, whatever. But yeah, woo. Decent amount of airflow. Okay, finally. Motor stopped. Any noise? No. Complete silence. So the YIOU air purifier had a little bit of noise, electrical noise. And this is silent when it's off. Now what I want to do is test the power usage when this is running. So let's get our power tester and check that out. Here I have a power tester, and this one is not the kilowatt that everyone talks about, but I prefer this one. It has nice light and it works great for me. Electricity monitor from Ponte? Don't know. But either way, I bought the kilowatt before, and this one I prefer. One thing we want to test is the power factor and the VA to see actual power usage. It's not that it uses more power, it's just off-axis power, and it can cause a higher electricity bill, which I show in my YIOU air purifier that here in BC, Canada, you pay more if it has a bad power factor. But that one actually has a pretty good power factor. I had a purifier, the Malap JK150, and I had a poor power factor. So not doing anything, we are using 0.3 watts, but now I want to check our power factor. Power factor, I'm going to go to VA, and the VA is, it's a nasty 2.54. And let's see if I can see my power factor. PF is my power factor. Now it hurts. Let's see. Now I want to go to power factor. And the closer to 1, the power factor, the better. But right now we are basically off, and it's not very efficient when it's just sitting there idle, not doing anything. A lot of air purifiers, I've seen ones use up to 4 watts, doing absolutely nothing, not even making a sound, just using power. It is 0.43, and that's pretty bad. What I want to know is the power usage. So, watts. 2.74 watts, but with our power factor being so bad, it's going to be closer to 5-6 watts on low, which is actually very efficient. So low, that's our VA. Because our power factor is bad, you can use more power than it says, but yeah, that's pretty low power usage despite being on low anyways. So despite our low power factor, it's efficient, energy efficient. So this means it's probably using a good motor in it to actually get such a low power usage. Now we're on medium now. What I want it to do is go up to speed so I can get a better idea for the power usage, because as it speeds up, it's going to use more power, and sometimes it'll go down in power usage, some units, after it's been on for a few seconds. Okay, so here's our wattage, and that's on medium, but again, our power factor is not perfect, so let's see what our power factor is. It's 0.5. 0.5 is our power factor, which again is pretty bad, but that means it's going to be about double that. It's going to be about 12 watts. VA 12.25, I think it says. And that's pretty darn efficient still on medium, even despite the low power factor. Let's go to high. Power factor looks to be 6.21 or so, which is again low. And on high we are 30 watts or so, which is actually pretty decent. And let's see with our power factor corrected, which is 50 watts with our VA. So despite how much air it has, this is efficient despite its low power factor. Okay, lights off. Let's see the watts without power factor correction. So 2.71 right now, about 2.70. Turn light back on. And it dropped in power with the light on. I don't understand that. Weird. So having the sensor, having the light on, how does having a light on reduce power? Just slightly, but it's weird. 0.1 of a watt, sure, but okay. Do I notice any chemical smell? No, but I do notice a new plastic smell. But not like bad, but you still notice it a little bit. And that's normal for something that's new out of the package. Now the one thing that the Coway does that this doesn't do is it stores my settings. So if I go to, say, high, now I'm going to power off. Now I'm going to power on. And it's still set to high. The night light itself doesn't store. The light's going to be on. That's the night light, as in the air quality detect light, that is still going to remain on. That part doesn't store. It's just the fan speed stores. So if I put to auto or low, it's automatically going to be on that whatever setting. Auto is the default setting out of the box. However, this little guy, does that store? I don't think it does. The YIOU is on auto. I'm going to set to medium. I think I had it on low last. Does anything store? I'll turn the light off too as well. Turned it off. And let's see where it goes. And it's back to auto and it's back to light on. So no storage capacity for setting on the YIOU Airmega150 stores the settings. So here I have a pile of different air purifiers. You can see right here, 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 and I have another one here out of the scene, but I'll get to these here. Now what I want to do here is I'm going to turn them on, unplug them, and replug them to see if they start up again the way they're supposed to. So here we have the YIOU. Let's turn it on. Now I'm going to unplug it and replug it to see if it turns back on or not. Okay, give it a couple seconds. And back in. As we can hear, the fan did not restart. So if you have a power off situation, power bump, it's going to stay off. This is the Winix P450. Now I'm going to unplug it. Give it a couple seconds. And it didn't turn back on. Now we have the Coway Airmega150. Let's see what happens when I plug it in. It's not that it just started from not being on at all. I turned it on before I shut it off. So you can see for yourself. I'm going to unplug and replug. The power is still off now. So I can set this to whatever I want, unplug it, replug it, or power off and power on. And it's going to start up just where that last setting was. Here we have the Cuisinart CAP500. And by the way, all these air purifiers I bought myself. There's nothing supplied. So this is not everything I had, not even close. I've sold off the Rabbit Air BioGS last couple months. I also sold the Malap JK150 and, well, I still have these, but I'll get to another one in a moment. But let's test this one. Here we have the Cuisinart CAP150. Turn it on. And let's see what happens when we unplug and replug it. Give it a second. And now let's replug. So you can hear the beep that it got power again, but now it's powered off. So if you have a power bump, something happens, it turns off, it stays off. So what do I have here? This is one I simply got a 20 by 20 filter for by 1 inch, made my own custom fan that you can make yourself at home using a regular window fan. Now this one would turn back on because this one is analog dial, and wherever you set it, whether you plug it in or take it out, it's going to be the same. A digital one might not be the same, but this analog where you set 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, and 0 is going to be where it was last set. I like using this in the window, especially during a hot summer day, to blow air that's purified into the house directly, and that way you also avoid getting bugs sucking through a screen that might be in your window. I don't like the power factor being low, but it is efficient. Now, when it comes to air filtration and room size, do you get the one that's rated 500 square feet for your 500 square foot room? I recommend getting 1,000 square feet. Yes, it's more expensive, but I'm going to tell you why right now. If you have allergies and it really matters to you, 1,000 square feet means you don't have to turn it to maximum because that's its max effective rating. And if you've been watching some of the different air purifiers I turned on, especially on the YIOU, I believe I had 2 different air purifiers on max, including the max setting on here. Do you want to listen to that max loud setting? Probably not. Also, ionizers. Ionizers can be an irritant. They're an irritant to my nose. It actually makes my nose more stuffy. And it's been shown many times that it can, especially in a closed room and building up, even if it's considered non-ozone producing, can cause long-term lung problems. Now you got another problem that's permanent and you never get away from that one now. So ionizers, I don't recommend. If you want to use an ionizer, I recommend using it when you're not in the room. This is Eric of Not Bios, Tech and Reviews. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, help this channel grow, and links below will be to purchase this item, especially the Coway, the air filters, and I might put a couple other units below that I have actually used that I recommend, like the Air BioGS. That's actually a really good one, but it takes a little too much room, and that's why I don't have it anymore. There's also the A2+, really nice air purifier, but it uses a lot of power because it has 6 layers of filters. Do I consider it really any better than the BioGS? No. Just more efficient because it have 6 layers of filters to go through. That's crazy. Thanks for watching, and have yourselves a most wonderful day.